Assalamu alaikum and welcome. Now, when debating with an atheist or when engaging into a dialogue with them about the existence of God or about why they are who they are, an atheist will probably look at you into your eyes and confidently and smartly will tell you the following: that there is no God, or I believe there is no God, or I don't believe in a God, or there are no sufficient evidence for God, or because of naturalism and so there's no need for God, or I lack belief in a God. Now all these statements, I promise you, are void statements, are empty statements. But let us examine each and every statement and see whether they fit into what they claim to be. Now, the first point, there is no God. The problem with this point, there is no God, is that why there is no God? An atheist who says that there is no God must have known all the evidences for God before he says that, because who knows everything is not a man. A man can't know everything, so you can't make such claim that there is no God, point blank. Why there is no God? What is your reasons? What are your reasons that there is no God? And I promise you, an atheist can't give any reason for that claim. So such statements are void and vacuum statements. They doesn't mean anything. They neither proves atheism nor disproves theism. Okay. The second point, I believe there is no God. Well, I believe there is no God is a very problematic statement, because when you say you believe there is no God, then what are your substantive prisms that support your belief that there is no God? Is your belief based on reason, or B, based on logic, or C, based on faith? If your belief is based on reason, then what reasonable proofs do you have that there is no God? Because we haven't had any reasons from atheists that there is no God. If your belief is based on logic, what logical proof do you have that there is no God? Because if there are some logical evidences for the non-existence of God, an atheist will have used those logical proofs. After all, the atheists say they can't prove a negative. If it is based on faith, which I believe it is, and I made a video, it is at the bottom of this video, that an atheist only bases claim on faith, then faith is unreasonable, faith is illogical, faith is not science, faith is not a proper claim that an atheist ought to have used it in his belief for the non-existence of God. Because if an atheist based his claim on faith, then why did he bash the theist? He should have no problem with the theist. So this is a foolish and void claim. It is better for atheists not to even utter this kind of statement, because they doesn't mean anything. They are empty statements. Okay, our third point, that is, there is no God. Saying that there is no God point blank is a problematic kind of statement. Is it a choice you made not to believe in a God? Or is it based on reason that you say, I believe there is no God? What is your evidence? What are your proofs? And I promise you, an atheist doesn't have any. If you say there are no sufficient evidence for God, then this means that you know all the alleged proofs for God, and you can't know all the alleged proofs for God. Because if you say you know all the proofs for God, that means you are not a man. You can't make such claims. So you can't say such statements. Again, this is a kind of empty and vacuum statement. You can't utter this kind of statements. If you say because of naturalism, so there is no need for God, well, first of all, what is naturalism? Naturalism is the belief that all phenomena are explainable in terms of causes of the laws of nature. But does that disprove God? Because God is the creator of these laws. He is beyond naturalism. So that can't disprove God. It is an empty statement to say because of naturalism, so you can't believe, you don't believe in a God. It is not a valid statement. It's not viable. It's just an empty statement. It means nothing. Our final point, if you say, I lack belief in a God, then why did you lack belief in a God? Because this statement appears to be a defensive position. It appears to be a defensive position to say, I lack belief in a God. It is a defensive position derived from the choice to lack belief